Hi folks, welcome to Monday. About 10 afternoon, June 10th, Monday, a nice even 69 degrees. Just quickly for this video, obviously my batteries aren't completely charged there. That's our friends, the Beastie Boys, in the back, and I gotta get out of here before YouTube gets on my cage about copyright infringement. Anyway, just a quick video. I'm going to try to keep this less than 5 minutes. I've probably mentioned on a couple of videos that my F150 hasn't been making good sounds out the front. And you know, I've been kind of playing with the power steering, checking the fluid, you know, and it's not that. And then, you know, is it the throwout bearing for the clutch? But it makes noise when I'm moving, when I'm not moving, when I'm stopped. As long as the engine's running, it's making noise, especially when it's cold. And I've been trying to figure it out for a while, and I think I did. So I got underneath it, and I touched the radiator. And I discovered, I don't know, could you guys see this? The fan should not be rubbing against this shroud there. See how it's rubbing? So, anyway, so if you got a strange sound coming out of the front of your Ford, it could be, I would check the, obviously one eventually gets to the radiator and so forth. I checked the mounts, and this side looks good. It's in the hole. You know, I tried to lift it up. It seems tight. This side not so good. You could see how much it moves, and then if you're looking over there, how it moves away. So I got to get underneath it and figure out what's wrong with the lower mount. Right now the oil's draining from it because I'm in the middle of an oil change and grease job. This thing is due. It's ripe for such things. Anyway, just quickly about this thing. I bought this 2 years ago, May. So it's just over 2 years old. It's just passed its second inspection. So I got a nice fresh sticker on it. I like that kind. It's been a good truck. The only trouble I had is they had a Mickey Mouse brake line over here that popped. They replaced all the brake lines except right up against the master cylinder. So when I got underneath it before I bought it and checked the brake lines, the frame looked good, the brake lines looked fresh. So I said, oh, the one less problem. Well, until you have an emergency stop and the brake line pops because they did a splice by the master cylinder. Obviously I thought very highly of the person who did that. Anyway, it just, once again, my bad. I probably should have checked the entire brake system front end to back end. So I've had it just over 2 years. Other than that brake line situation, which I'm not going to call it my fault, right? I should have perhaps looked a little closer, but once again, popping a brake line isn't my fault. And popping a tire, which was probably my fault. I probably backed over a piece of angle iron or something with it, though it was a sidewall pop, or maybe it was just low and then I put something into the side. However it happened, I popped a tire, and I had the brake line pop. It's got the 4.6 in it. I don't know if anybody can, or 4.2. It's got the 6-cylinder. It's been a good truck. It's got the 5-speed. It's only a 2-wheel drive. Obviously, it's an extended cab. This is the first full-size truck that I've ever put on the road and put a lot of use on, and I've been very happy with it, especially the extended cab, because it allows me to hoard stuff right in the cab, tools, whatever I need for a project or whatever I buy, I can lock up securely in the cab. So I really like the truck. It was about, I think with tax, it was about $5,500. It's got just under 100,000 miles on it now, in the high 90s. I bought it in the low 90s. I don't know, I've put about 8,000 miles on it. My trucks I don't put a lot of mileage on them. The round trip to the flea market is about 100 miles a week for this guy, and I only go do the flea market 9 months of the year. So, you know, about 4,500 miles. They have an easy life from that point of view. Obviously, when I'm running scrap or running pellets, if I run pellets, that puts a ton on it. If I'm running scrap, that puts about 1,500 pounds on it. It seems to do it. Doesn't love it, but it does it. It doesn't mind the 1,300, 1,500, but as you bring it up toward 2,000 pounds, you can see it's not happy. Particularly, I put 2,000 pounds of them wood bricks, you know, those environmental brick things, and it seemed to have more trouble with that than the pellets. Maybe the pellets are a little better dispersed, or the way the weight worked out. It just seemed it really didn't seem to care for the bricks, but it does do the pellets. One would think a ton is a ton, but it seemed to not like the bricks as much. Alright, I'm going to let you go. Guys, live, love, and have a great time. I was working on the Big Red and stopped work on this thing because the rain kind of stopped for the time being. You can see the water on the ground here. After I finish this, I'm going to get back to Big Red. The goal is to see smoke come out the exhaust. There are a couple of things I got to mention about the Big Red also as we get to that, so we'll go through all that later. Anyway, live, love, and have a great time. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. In the meantime, remember, keep the tires down, the handlebars up.